Ken, I want to thank you for coming to camp. My name's Thad Johnson with ABC, and we'll be doing your pitching lesson here today. First thing we're going to talk about is the balance position, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line up through your back side, and what we want to do is we want to make sure at the balance position that our head is running up through this line right here. And if our head's back on this line, we're going to make sure that it's basically assuring us that we have our weight back upon lift. We also want to make sure that, while we lift, we do keep everything, somewhat. I like to tell guys, just pretend like you got a wall off your front shoulder, off your front hip, and you can't break that wall until you get to the top of the lift. Now at the lift, as we start to move down, the second we start to move forward, we also want to break our hands. So you do a pretty good job of this. Actually, you do a really good job of this, Ken, and just want to point that out. It's something to just keep working on, whether you do a short leg or a high leg. Now, eventually, when you get older and guys start stealing bases and things, and the running game becomes important, you're going to want to work on having a lower leg lift, where you're probably going to lift the leg to about this position right here. But it's very important, even with the shorter leg lift, that you don't rush yourself and you keep a good solid, a nice solid balanced base at the beginning of the delivery. As we move to the directional phase, I want to point out that when you get real back behind your body, partly because you're turning your hips or turning your shoulders so far in. Okay, so let's do a good job. And then if you notice the baseball right here is really far behind your butt. You're showing that baseball to the hitter. So let's do a good job when we break our hands to keep that top half. We want to keep that top half towards that hitter. Okay, what it's going to do is you're going to hide the baseball behind your back leg as opposed to showing the hitter what you're throwing early in the delivery. It's called deception. So we just want to make sure that our shoulders at this point are squared up to the catcher. Something that you can work on, dry mechanics. And what I like to tell guys is when they lift their balanced leg, what you have is your feet, your front foot, and your glove is somewhat together as you move out. Okay, as we begin our direction, we want to make sure that line stays parallel, okay, throughout the entire delivery. And what I do is I usually put three or four lines on, and as you can see, your direction, okay, during the course of your direction, these lines they're not running parallel with each other. Okay, they're kind of all over the map. So you just want to make sure that glove and that front foot are always together throughout your entire delivery. Dry work, okay, mirror work, really having just a really good understanding of what you're doing with this front side right here. At this point in delivery, I'd like to see that your glove just be up a little bit higher into, in more of a position up here. And if you keep that glove and that front foot together, what you're going to do is you're going to notice that it is going to automatically get your front side in line with the catcher. You're not going to be so closed off. When guys are closed off, they tend to prematurely rotate the top half at foot strike. And as we move to this foot strike or the loaded position, what we want to do is we want to stride towards the target. Okay, what you're doing, I feel like your stride could be a little bit longer. You could probably get that leg out just a little bit more. Okay, you need to do a better job of just being a little bit stronger with that front side. So get that glove out there to being in line with your front foot, and everything else looks good. You're facing the target. But what happens is when you get such a thin base, you can't drive through, and you're going to fall over the front side. So at this point right here, when you release, your you're essentially, all your weight is you're kind of walking through the pitch. You're not creating any wall. And what you want to do is you want to create a nice firm wall in this front side here, okay, to be able to push against it and really drive the back knee and the foot directly through that wall. I mean, you want to be really aggressive with that lower half. And when your front side is so collapsed as it is, as you can see how you just got this big time bend where it almost looks like you're sitting down. What's going to happen is you're just going to walk through. So as you rotate and throw, your hips are going to go forward at the same exact time as your top half, and you're just going to get well out over your front leg. And as you can see, there is no balance position at the top of the delivery. We just kind of fall forward through the pitch. Our glove gets well behind us, okay, and you're not creating any leverage out front. So a couple things just to kind of review: balance position, short leg, high leg. We're going to make sure that in there, as you can see, we got a little bit of a shorter leg right here on your lift, which is good. You do a good job of staying balanced. Okay, on your separation, let's go ahead. Biggest thing, when you separate your hands, Ken, we want to be direct to home plate. Okay, what that's going to do, it's going to get that glove, and it's going to get that glove out here to be in line with your foot. And this is it's a lot of dry work in front of the mirror and really having a good understanding, a good feel for where your top half is in your delivery. As we get to foot strike, we want to make sure that we're getting a little bit further out with our front foot. Okay, great drill. Draw a line in the dirt, get that foot out there, and see how far you can stride out. Okay, overemphasize it. Get that foot out there though, and really what that's going to do, you're going to start feeling that weight transfer from the back to the front, and then on the follow through, I want to see if you can maintain. I want to see if you can maintain a balanced position over your front leg. So we talk about staying balanced at the beginning of the delivery, and we also want to stay balanced at the end of the delivery. So you're going to work from pole to pole here and be able to hold that balance at the end. So Ken, I want to thank you for coming to camp. I hope you learned a little bit here today from this lesson, and you're able to take some of these pointers and make your delivery a little bit better.